and welcome to Bob's Garden. Today I would like to talk about houseplants in general and some rules for houseplant success. The number one rule for houseplants is to getting to know the houseplant that you have in your house. If you're shopping out in the nursery and you see some kind of a houseplant, you want to learn as much about it as possible and see if it's actually appropriate. You want the right plant for the right place. There are some houseplants that are actually not that easy to do unless you have the right conditions. For instance, in my house, I have very limited light inside the house, and a lot of the things that I have need artificial light. So that set of houseplants actually is taken outside for the season as soon as the temperatures get above 50. Whereas if we're having sections of the house that have certain amount of sunlight, those plants can stay in there year round and I don't have to move them. Besides, I enjoy the plants in the house itself. So to give an example, I have a lineup here of plants that do well in this western exposure. This is a succulent. We have some cacti here. We have this Tillandsia decorum here, and those all need very, very bright light. And they only get watered once a month, the cacti and the succulent. This gets watered once a week. So it's knowing what they need and keeping a routine. A routine is very important. You do the same thing with the plants at the same time throughout the year. So once a week, I just spin these so that they get light on all sides. And I move these around and this one around and this one is also moved around. And that gives, so that it gets even light for what it needs. So you want to be careful about what you choose. Now, if you have an apartment and you can't bring plants outside for the summertime, then you're going to choose plants that will do well in your particular household. So if you got really bright, full sunlight, then you can do cacti. If it's dark like my house, you have to have different options. So here's some of the plants that will stay indoors year-round. First of all, I don't have space for them outside because of my other plants, and they don't have good spots to be in. So these can stay in year-round. They get sprayed just once a week. And this section here is the least amount of light in this whole bank of windows. And that's what Tillandsias need. They don't want to be in full sun, bright sun, for more than a couple hours, slanted sun in the morning. So this section over here is great for that purpose. So it's just a matter of I just take these from where they are and I bring them over to the sink and I spray them and then I put them back. I will also rotate these and they all go back in the exact same place that I took them from. So I don't take this up and then move it over to here. And I don't take this one up and move it over to there. They have their own spot all year round. And that's, again, it's important to rotate them. So knowing the needs of your plants. Now, I don't think a water meter is a good idea because you're going to be looking at the water meter instead of actually observing your plant. So get to know your plants, get to know what they need, and choose the plants that are the right for your particular household and ones that you like. I have some plants that are challenging. I enjoy that. They kind of get limp through the year until they can get outside. Then they do fine, and then I have to bring them in. That said, you want to bring things in outside. Once they go outside, don't bring them back and forth, back and forth. Once they go outside, they should go in a spot, and they should just stay there. So let's go take a look at my houseplant collection that's now outside for the season. So when we're bringing plants out for the summer season, those ones that will do best outside for the summer, you don't wait until the hottest day of the year and then just bring them out and put them in full sun. They need to transition. It's very important that once you do bring the plants out, you don't ease them into it. You got to bring them in and out. You don't do that. Once they come out, you got to watch the weather forecast, make sure the temperatures are going to be correct for an extended period of time, and then once they go out, they cannot go back until the end of the season. And at the end of the season, they don't go back in and out again. They just go back to where they were at the beginning of the year. So for instance, I'll take some of these succulents, and they have a special spot in a back room with artificial light. I'll put them in the exact same spot that they were before they came outside. The other thing is that once they are outside, you do want to transition them into the amount of sunlight that's out here. And I got a lot of cover, a lot of shade, but it would still be too much sun for them because they're under artificial lights. So when they come out, they have to be sheltered. So I'll take this and I'll put them underneath the table, and they'll stay there and they'll get slanted light, and they'll adapt to the amount of sunlight available to them, and then they can go into their spot. Now every single year, these plants are in the same exact spot. So I have some bromeliads here. They need deep shade, so they're underneath this lilac tree here. We've got some Schefflera bonsai here. They need shade as well. And especially these Spanish moss. These really cannot take full sun. So they'll stay out here until the temperatures start to get into the 50s, and then we'll go and bring them inside, and that will be it for the season. So we could take a look at some of the other plants I have over here. This section of the deck has some of the tropical bonsai, and this gets even more sun than in that corner. So these also will go in the same spot every year. And you can even see some of the fact that it outlines on this table here. That's the exact spot that this was in. And we will get some leaf drop, that's okay. I've also got some basil out here for cooking and an herb planter. And then these ones over here require even more sun. So this is the section of the deck that gets the most. We have a euphorbia here, and our avocado tree that we saw. I have a video on this, and some more tropicals. So it's getting to know the plants, getting to know their watering needs, and observing them. Keep an eye out for plant diseases, and enjoy your plants, and you will have success with the house plants. So thank you for watching Bob's Garden, and we'll see you next time. Remember to share, subscribe, and comment on my videos. And remember, be curious, not judgmental.